Namaste to all of you watching us right now from India and UK. I am Dr. Anushruti and I am back with an insightful discussion. Today I have Mr. Peter joining directly from UK to discuss health and mobility. Peter, who is a health and mobility coach, believes in helping people get fragile to robust. He has a massive fan and client following and is here with us to share his views on the said topic. Hello, Peter. How are you?
Hello, I'm not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
I am good. I am in the pink of health. Well, as we discussed the topic health and mobility, for you, what is the meaning of mobility?
Mobility is the ability to control your range of motion. So that's something different than flexibility. Flexibility, I'll just explain the easiest possible way. So flexibility is a ability of your joint to move from point A to B with the external help. So if I'll get myself there, I'll pull my heel towards my butt. That will be flexibility because I can get there. So I don't have to do anything to get there. I just have to use my hand. Yeah. Mobility on the other side will be ability to control it. So if I let my hand go and my heel stays there, I have to use my muscles to control it. Yeah. So what you will notice in people very often, everyone thinks they train in mobility and just that they're moving from side to side, but actually this is not exactly true. At least that's what I think, because you cannot control what you have. Yeah. So you have a
Exactly.
lot of you have a lot of flexible people. And they'll be like, oh, see how flexible I am. But yeah, mobility is something else. Is you can control what you have. So that's the easiest example, just showing a knee flexion.
So, do you feel that deteriorating health can be a factor related to decreased mobility of people?
Yes, obviously. But again, it's a bigger picture. It's not only just mobility, it's about how your joints moving. So you've got all those major joints starting from your neck, going towards your toes. So every single bit which bends and including your spine. And people should be able to control all of those things. So your spine should be moving certain way, your shoulders should be moving certain ways, and every single joint should be moving certain way. If
In
not,
certain
then
ways.
then issues will happen. Yeah, so definitely, if mobility is poor, then you have issues with how you're feeling, how you're moving. There will be aches and pains, and then injuries will happen very often as well. They don't have to, but they will. So taking care of your mobility is really important thing. So as people aging, they can feel and move as good or even better compared to when they were young. Yeah, so it's just your movement longevity. That's mobility. That's how we could call it as well.
Exactly. With this, you just discussed something related to aging with people. Now, I have question that in India and even in other countries of the world, we have witnessed like people when they age, when their age starts to approach them, they tend to have less movement. Either they'll start walking slow or their body tends to walk them slow. So, what do you think? Like, is it a way to cope up with the age, or there is any solution to this? Like, no, it is not necessary that if you're aging you have to move slow, you cannot do certain exercises. Like, what is your take?
So it doesn't matter how old you are, to be honest. If you take care of yourself, you'll be moving well towards end of your life. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if you are 99 or 100 years old. But as I said, you have to take care of yourself. So when we're coming back to those joints, and you're thinking like you're moving slower, but in reality, your body decreasing and your joints decreasing in terms of how they function. So let's say, I don't know, you're losing a spinal mobility. Let's say that will be the thing. So your spine cannot move as well as it was moving previously, and people starting to blame it. Oh, that's the age, that's the spine degeneration and other stuff. Yes,
So
to certain degree.
do you think that people are using it as an excuse to let them get free out of it? Like, what do you think? Because in my country it is very prevalent that people tend to start using crutches and walking aids. So yeah, like there is something out about it. And I believe that everything starts from the beginning. Like when you are young, you have to train your body in a certain way to increase your mobility, increase your range of motion, and that takes eventually helps you to move freely and have some mobility and flexibility when you grow old.
Definitely. So people are making excuses, but at certain age they stopping to move. So why you were feeling so good when you were a kid? Because you're moving all the time, yeah? Obviously, because of the younger age, your body functions better. But still, if just get the kids to sit and then still be stiff, you know what I mean, after a year or two of doing nothing. So the when you're young, you're moving a lot. Then if getting a job and people starting to sit and do nothing, yeah, and then they're expecting they'll be moving as well as they were moving as they were kids. But your body adapts to whatever it's exposed to. So your body is exposed to sitting, and then yeah, all those things starting to tighten up. You're starting to have tight hips and starting to your body starting to change shape. So people will be looking like
Yeah,
hunchback
hunched.
time because of that,
There is a hunch over there.
and
In
because of the
general, yeah, in general, what people consider is mobility is movement and movement is mobility. Whereas on the same hand, we have seen that even when you move from position A to B is movement, and mobility in a certain way has a broader aspect. So what do you want to discuss on this? Like mobility is same as movement, or is there any difference?
now, mobility is the we're talking about the using those ranges of motions which you have. So it's like if you think about your body and it's got the parts. So and those parts are prerequisites for the movement. Yeah, for example.
Hmm.
So for example, let's say if we're doing squat. So squat, for the squat, simple stuff. You will need your ankle mobility, dorsiflexion. Yeah, you will need your knee flexion, and you will need your hip flexion, and obviously general hip mobility. Same with the spine. Your spine has to move certain ways so you can get into that squat. Yeah. So if any of those prerequisites is being compromised, so let's say you have a, I don't know, poor ankle mobility, let's say, then you start
Hmm.
straight away shifting yourself forward and trying to get on your toes because your ankles cannot get there. Same with the hips, you might get there pinching in the hip if your hip flexion isn't great, for example. Yeah. And
Yeah.
same with the spine, you might be saying, oh, back starting to ache when I'm sitting, or there might be other things. So all those parts, they have to move well, yeah? And yeah, so that's the way it goes. So if you have a good ankle mobility, good knee flexion, and good hips and spine, then it transfers into movement. Even if squat isn't exactly movement, but still, even if you're doing any kind of a movement, overhead press, you would need to have certain prerequisites, which would be your thoracic spine mobility, your shoulder flexion, for example, and your scaps have to move well, another thing. So when we're talking mobility, we're talking about every single part, and every single part should be moving well. And when they're moving well, they're allowing you to do movement with freedom. Yeah. And what people mistaken very often, as I said before, is flexibility and mobility. So I have a lot of yoga people who were thinking that they're doing mobility, but they were in pain for
Hmm.
their whole life. And let's say they're doing contours and other stuff, they're super flexible. They can do anything, but still they are weak because they have only flexibility, as we discussed. So when we're coming back to
Somewhere and somehow they have some restricted motions, when we have to do abduction and adduction, simple movements as well. I feel that somewhere or the other they still have some restricted motions. By the way, exercise and yoga is like a long chain of discussion and never ending discussion, because every party has their own way and own points to keep it in. Well, after the onset of coronavirus, well, what is the condition of coronavirus over there?
over there, to be honest, I don't know because I don't care too much what's happening around. It's like I'm not watching news or anything. I'm just training people and doing my job. And when something important happening around, I will hear it from people. But I think it's not too bad. Yeah, so yeah, I can see some people around getting ill, but it's not too bad.
So you have this idea of live and let live.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, after the onset of coronavirus, I'm sure you know about this, that people have tend to come into their home, a 4 by 4 room, and I mean, they have that laptop or desktop on a table without any ergonomics, like zero ergonomics and zero movement, no restricted activity or anything what they do. So do you feel that this is somehow a very, very, very bad and poor approach towards life?
Yeah, you have to get
Like
moving daily.
long lengths of sitting, I guess I've personally seen people sitting for 9 to 12 hours continuously without any movement.
Yeah, obviously it will affect people because yeah, if you're not moving, everything stiffens up, and your body is calling for movement because human beings are designed to move. So that's the thing.
Exactly. This is what I live upon. Like in my career, in my study, I have always lived this mantra that human body is designed to move and not to rest. One more thing I am very curious to ask, like people who are into their rooms, having work from homes or having long lengths of sitting, what are two exercises that you would like to tell them to have their body in movement and keeping them active?
It wouldn't be a two exercises. It would be a control articular rotation scars from
Okay.
functional range conditioning system. It
Yeah.
does all major joints moving. So if you're moving all your joints, then you are covered. Yes, it's like a brush in your teeth for your teeth. You know what I mean? So the question for me sounded like a, just in my opinion, that's how I seen it. If you ask me, so when I'm doing a brushing my teeth, which teeth should I be brushing? You know what I mean? I would say all of them. So you know what I mean? So that's the point about the control or cars, control articular rotation.
Everything.
You would use every single joint. So we'll be just doing kind of a joint circles for every joint, and that would take probably 10 minutes to do daily, and that would be compared to brushing your teeth, just to have that joints hygiene daily. So that would be the best to kind of say for people to do.
So, for the viewers who are watching us right now, can you demonstrate some of them?
Yeah, cars are just basically joint circles. So let's say every single joint does like a circular movement. So if it was a neck, I would think about myself like I'm a statue and nothing is moving. I would just get my neck flexed. So try to go segment by segment. Then I'll go sideways and then round into a neck extension. And when I'm moving there, I will try not to move any other body parts. Yeah. And that would go the same for the, let's say, shoulders or shoulder blades. Shoulder blades, I would get hands in front of me, get shoulder blades up, forward, down, and back. And when I'm doing the movement, as you can see, I'm trying not to move any other body part. Yeah. So that would be
Yeah.
shoulder blades, and then you got elbows when you go in like a kind of a biceps curl, extending, rotating, going up. Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. Yeah, so every single joint can be moved. So if it was a wrist, I could start doing the circles for the wrist without moving forearm. So this is super specific. You're trying just to move, isolate each joint, and you're moving it for few reps. Yeah, and that's simplified. Yeah, because you have to be
And
aware
this
how it
is
works.
this
Yeah.
I feel is very important to everyone in every part of the world, because nowadays I have seen a lot of them sitting on their table and chair for longer periods of time, and I believe the viewers watching us, just comment down that are you going to follow everything, because I know secretly or somewhere you are going to see this on repeat, because this is what everyone wants to know, how to keep them active. Peter, one more thing I would like to ask is what actually people have asked me, and it is the burning question that to get fit, to attain some mobility, is it necessary to enter the gym, or we can have it in our home as well, home setup?
You don't have to go to the gym because even it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you would like to do bodybuilding, probably would be better idea to go to the gym. But still, you could do it at home. But for the everyday people, you can do stuff at home. I'm training at home, for example. You might say, oh, because you have the like a home gym, but I don't have much here as well. It's like I know there's a few sandbags, like Olympic rings, few bands, and some kind of a dumbbell. So you don't need much. Also, the people who I'm training, they just need like a mostly body weight, few bands, perhaps ankle weights. If you know what to do, you can do stuff easily at home, and it's much less than people think because everyone believes in like a no pain, no gain.
Ah,
Uh,
yeah,
but
totally.
it's not true as well because as I'm saying, less pain, more gain because that's the way it works. So if you less pain, more gain, what I mean, if you get yourself injured, then there will be no gains. You know what I mean? As people saying. So yeah, that's the way it would go. So you can do stuff at home easily. Yeah. like a 30 minutes daily if you have time every other day. You can have a really good training there.
Well, what do you want to say about joint health?
About the joints health,
Yeah, because this is something, people actually tend to have muscle health and talk about certain muscles, range of motions, but the main core point, the joint, which actually tends us to do all of these activities, people forget about it. So what do you want to speak about joint health of people?
joint health is like a youth fountain. So if your joints are healthy, then you can do anything and move well. Because when you're thinking on the muscles, then you're building your muscle, but then joints will be lagging, so you'll be getting aches and pains from that. Yeah. So you have to think like evenly. It's not only your muscles. Is you should train evenly your joints, muscles, bones, and then connective tissue. So all those things should be in your training. And those days, people mostly focusing on muscles. Yeah. So we see like
Yeah.
people get really big and everything, but later they are 10 years later, everyone's like, oh, I got the spine issue.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is so true. This is so evident. I have seen so many cases like this because their whole attention is on their muscle strength and core training, but they often forget to train their bones and joint. I feel that if you've got a body, you've got a beautiful body, you have to train and take care of each part of that body and not only a particular thing, certain thing, just like you told that mobility is all about the body movement. Well, one more thing, uh, joint health is somehow related to diet or exercise. Like, what are the vital roles of having a good joint health?
so obviously, if you're not eating well, then you might be feeling not great, let's say that way. So, and it might be affecting your joints health as well, because let's say you are sensitive to certain foods and you're eating them constantly, then you'll be having aching joints just from that, because your body trying to get rid of the inflammation which that food will be causing you. So the easiest way would be when it comes to eating is to eat natural foods, like a food with one ingredient, rather than you're buying something in the shop and you having look at the list of ingredients and there's 100 and you even don't know what's that there. So the easiest way for eating is like just eat natural foods, and that would be as simple as that. Yeah, don't overeat, and it's much more simple than people think. Same with a
Maintain
breathing
a
and other
normal
things.
weight.
Yeah, maintain a normal weight easily, then go for a walk, do something. Yeah, but food is really important. Food, sleep, you need to have enough sleep. Stuff like a breathing and stress management. We're seeing people
Hmm.
like that all the time. They even don't know that's happening, so they're constantly stuck in a inhale. People cannot exhale those days properly, and they have a flare in ribs and other stuff, and that also affects mobility. So yeah, there are small things which are making big difference. Let's say that way, which people don't even look at. They're thinking that's too simple to be true that it can make any difference. But all those small things making huge difference in life.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and most of our viewers and listeners right now would agree with this point. One more thing, nowadays, the most demanding and, discussable topic, knee pain. Like every other person is having knee pain at a certain level, maybe slightly knee pain. And as you are smiling right now, I can feel that somehow you can relate with this question, that you have come across patients and clients having knee pain. So, or like, why is it happening so much? Why is knee pain increasing day by day in our population?
Because people not doing anything to make it not to happen. Yeah, because again, I said everyone taking everything for granted. So you're
Yeah.
thinking you'll be feeling great your whole life, but then if you're sitting too much and you're not doing your mobility stuff, all those joints getting weaker, and with time, yeah, you get some kind of aches and pains. And it's also related to posture. So knee is kind of tricky because everyone believes to have a healthy knees, you have to just do a knee flexion and extension stuff, yeah, because it's just knee bends and extend. But everyone is missing really important component, which is knee rotation, tibia internal and external rotation, and those are playing really big influence on how that knee is feeling. Yeah, so that's really a big game changer. The other things is like your feet are not, sorry, your knees are not only your knees aching, knees on the middle. You got your hip and you got your ankle as well. So if you have a poor ankle mobility, when you have a poor big toe movement, that will affect your knee big times as well. Yeah. When you have a poor hips, that will also affect your knee, because knee have to adapt to what your hip and ankle are doing as well.
Yeah.
So this is yeah, and it's also your posture. For example, if you are living in a lot of anterior pelvic tilt, then your posture changes and you shift it more on your toes, and then calves are constantly stretched, and oh yeah, so there's like a chain reaction. But yeah, the easiest way would be, as we came back to the CARS, control articular rotations, you would just be doing them every day, and they will be useful. I'm not saying they're going to solve everyone's aches and pains, but definitely they will make everyone to feel better.
In a nutshell, can we say that prevention is better than cure because we are not doing anything to not to happen? And Peter, one thing that is very prevalent, that people who are getting aged, they want to get back their range of motion, they want to move, they want to avoid these walking aids. So do you have any tip for them that they can regain their movement now when they're at the peak of age, let's say 75 or 80? Can they retain their movement somehow by taking
Easily.
baby steps or something?
Yeah, easily. I have people who are 80 something and they do in Olympic rings, and previously they couldn't walk because their knees were aching, backs were aching. They were going physios, they were going osteopaths, and whatever else you would like to go, chiropractors. But all of those things very often are like passive treatments. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't strengthen all those joints and muscles, then you're always going to be weak. So your body adapts to whatever it's exposed to. So even if someone is weak, you could start with like doing CARS, control articular rotations, and then you already would get those joints moving. They would start feeling better. You would regain a little bit of mobility. And then there are other things like when you strengthen those joints, that would be like certain isometric contractions, and then you could go for a little walk and stuff like that. And as you're combining things, your body adapts to whatever is exposed to. So let's say you did one step today, and tomorrow you can do 2 steps, and in end of the year you would take 365 steps. You know what I mean? If you're improving at that pace. So in a year time, you'll be much better than today, even if it's only 1 step today. Same with yeah. So your body adapts to whatever it's exposed to. Just have to find the right dose. Too much, not great, but slowly to keep improving. That's how you're going to get better.
Yeah, somehow I can relate, and I feel that people listening to us would actually tend to have one thing out of the whole discussion, that this is the right time, this is the sign for you to start taking care of your body, and give actual attention to each and every part of your body. Why is it paining, and what you can do to stop that pain? Peter, as we come to an end of this discussion, I believe there are many people out there who do not understand terms like abduction, adduction, flexion, extension, and certain muscle and joint names. So, for them, for the generalized audience of us who have no relation with biology, anatomy, what are you going to say to have a good mobility and health?
The easiest way, as said, would be doing those CARS. If you don't know what they are, they're like a joint circuits. I did show a few, but you can find them on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so it's as easy as you play in the video, you learning them by heart, and you're doing them every day, and you already will be at better health. And that solves quite a lot of issues. If people would like to learn more about it, they always can contact me on my Instagram or something. Yeah, so yeah, then we could talk about anything. Yeah, so if anyone needs help, you can contact me. But the easiest way, just you can find those cars on my YouTube and just do them every day, and that will make a big difference. Even if it looks like nothing, they're doing a lot. The easiest example would be, for example, a postman, which I was seeing recently. He was limping, and I asked him what's happening, and he said, "Oh, my knee is aching. I have to wait 3 months for physio or something." I said, check that video, just do that a few times. 2 weeks later, postman coming back, and I'm saying, how's your knee? Oh, I forgot that it was even in pain. Yeah, so it was as simple as that. Some people will be sorted out by just doing cars. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Well, By the end of this discussion, I am sure all the viewers and listeners watching us, listening us right now would have got a broader aspect of mobility and health and would have got to know how important it is for you all to move. This is the right time to start moving. Get up from your bed, have a walk. Walk is the easiest thing you can do right now to achieve a certain range of motion and mobility. And yes, try to get back into that energy and start exercising. I believe, Peter, walking is the best exercise one can do anywhere, anytime while working over a call, and the easiest way while because for walking you cannot make an excuse. Well, Peter, this was a really nice discussion, and I really believe we'll be catching up again on another topic. And yeah, this was very insightful. And yes, to the viewers and listeners right now, tell us in the comments what topic you want me and Peter to discuss in the next video, and what else do you wish to see. Well, till then, goodbye. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for coming and giving this insightful topic.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Peter.
Have a good day and hopefully see you soon. See you.
Thank you. Thank you.